Thank you all for coming out. And so, as everybody's talking about, this is a session about microclimates. And guess what we have out here? It's clear everywhere else except here in Tacoma, right? But so I woke up and I said, "Oh, this is great. You know, it's nice sunshine, clear skies, yay!" Not. Anyway, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Jim Posner. I'm the president of the Bremerton Pilots Association, vice president of the Washington Pilots Association, one of the vice presidents. And we hold these seminars fairly frequently now because we're able to find people like Ian who's willing to come out and chat with us. We've got one coming up that's going to be really interesting, a former U-2 pilot who's going to come out and tell his stories. We haven't set a date for that yet because he's traveling and he didn't know what his schedule was going to be like until he got back, so we'll set that up and I'll let everybody know. Is there anybody here who is not a member of the Bremerton Pilots Association? Okay, 2 of you, 3 of you. Would you like to be a member of the Bremerton? Okay. Let me give you a card, and not that I'm going to badger you, but I think it's important to know what kinds of things go on and why it should be a no-brainer to belong. But it's, here you go, sir. Can you send me an email or whatever, and I'll send you some information about both organizations. And the reason I asked the question is, well, first of all, my job is recruiting, right? But what happens is that when you're a member, you get email from me about what's going on, reminders, TFR alerts, anything else that's useful, that I think is useful. So all that stuff goes out to all of our members. And we have events like this. We also have a lunch fly out that we do every Friday, what we call Fly Day. We'll go over to San Juan Island and to Friday Harbor, and so Friday Harbor on Fridays for a Fly Day. So that's kind of cool. And then we've got some other events that are coming up this summer, which I will be telling everybody about. Any other questions about what's going on, or what we do with, as far as the Bremerton Pilots Association, we don't have meetings per se because I think they're boring. But so we combine meetings and events. So this is as close to what we call a meeting as possible. We have treasurer's reports, but we don't do them here. They're all on the internet, all on our website. So if you have any interest in that, knock yourself out, but that's where you find it. And the WPA is growing. 2 new chapters coming along. Skagit has already signed up to become a chapter, so they'll be kind of combining the Anacortes and the Skagit airports up there. The San Juan Pilots Association is planning on being a chapter. We're kind of going through the, what's in it for me, answering questions first before all that happens, but we'll get there. So that'll include all the San Juan Islands, which is going to be great. East Sound, Lopez, Orcas, San Juan Island. So that's all happening. One of the big things that goes on with the Washington Pilots Association is they are our advocates. They're advocates for general aviation in the state of Washington. We all belong to the AOPA, we all belong to EAA, but they have different missions. The AOPA has a national mission that is not focused on the state. The EAA deals with people who like to build their own airplanes and that sort of thing. So that's kind of their focus and their mission. The Washington Pilots Association is the only organization that advocates for general aviation, specifically in the state of Washington. To give you an example, right now in front of the legislation is a bill that a while back, the excise taxes that we pay for our airplanes, the $65 a year that we pay to get it registered, all that money went into the aviation fund. Well, a few years after that got started, somebody decided, hey, we could use that money. And so now 90% of that money goes into the general fund. Only 10% goes into the aviation fund. So we're trying to change that. And we're making some really good progress, but that's the kind of advocacy that you're going to get. So if we do this, that means 100% goes into the aviation fund. And what happens there? We leverage that with federal funds so that $600,000 comes out of the general fund because it's being re-diverted back to aviation fund. That $600,000 can be leveraged to represent over $9 million in airport improvement and maintenance funds. And then that $9 million would generate enough taxes and B&O kinds of money that goes into the general fund. So $600,000 comes out, $700,000 goes back in, and we get all the money for the airport improvements and maintenance. So you'd think it would be a no-brainer, except for one thing, we're dealing with the government. Enough said about that. But the point is that without the Washington Pilots Association, nobody is going to make the case, nobody is going to put the pressure on them to do what we need to do to protect our interests. And the way we become effective in doing that is to have the head count so that the legislators pay attention to us. Right now there are over 15,000 active pilots in the state of Washington. The Washington Pilots Association membership is less than 1,000.
Wow, really?
So, I mean, it is 1,000, so it's not nothing. But we need to really put the word out and get the head count up. Because the more we do, the more clout we have, the more, and you don't even have to do anything. All you have to do is be a part of the head count because you've got other people doing the heavy lifting for you. So those are some of the reasons why I think it's, and just so you know, when you join up as a chapter member, you automatically in the state organization, so you don't have to pay the additional dues for it. So that's a pretty good deal. And there's some other benefits that goes along with that too. All right.